Hi guys, and welcome to another crochet cakes tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this, I'm calling it a square flower because the center kind of looks like a flower motif, and then just kind of we square it out as we go along. The original pattern can be found in Vogue Dictionary of Crochet Stitches by Mathews, page 137. There is no actual name in the book for this square, so that's why I'm just calling it the flower square. And I made this sample that I'm showing you here with Knit Picks Snuggle Puff yarn and a 5mm crochet hook, and those are the exact same yarn and hook I will be using to make this tutorial. Now, just to give you a heads up, if you look up or if you own the Vogue Dictionary of Crochet Stitches, you will realize that this pattern is just slightly different because I finished it a couple of rows sooner than the author had intended, but I like it better this way. And in the end, it's going to be part of a bigger blanket, so it's going to be just fine. So grab your yarn and your corresponding hook and let's get started. So as I mentioned, I'm using Knit Picks Snuggle Puff. In this one just happens to be the Platypup colorway, and it's just a grayish purple. As you can see, this is a 70% cotton, 30% nylon, Aran heavy worsted weight yarn, and it has 142 yards, 50 grams. You will have some of this left over. I'll weigh it so you guys can have an idea of how much yarn you actually need to complete this square. All right. So to begin, we are going to unravel this mystery. So I'm just going to leave a slightly long chain. We're going to begin with a slip knot. All right. And we are going to chain 12. All right, once we have chained 12, we are going to join to form a ring. You can, of course, do magic loop if you've wanted to. I did magic loop once and I just didn't like how the center kind of turned out, so I decided to stick with the chain 12, join to form a ring. All right, and in the first round, we are going to chain 4, and this counts as our first. This chain 4 counts as our first treble, and this is a US treble, which in the UK would be a double treble. So we yarn over twice, insert the hook into the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So since our first 4 chain counts as the first as the first treble, I'm confusing myself now. We have 2 trebles, and we're going to keep going all the way around until we have a total of 24 trebles, and that is counting this first chain 4. Once we have completed the 24 trebles, we are going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 4, and we're going to join. This can be a little bit fiddly, and there we go. We have completed round 1. Now it just looks like there's this big gaping hole in the middle, so just shuffle your stitches until it looks like they're equally distributed. Sorry if I'm acting a little bit weird, but I have a very weird setup to try and film this for you guys. So I can't really see what I'm doing, and I'm looking at it through the screen, and it's just really weird. I'm not used to it. All right, so for round 2, we are going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so right next to the chain 4 space from the previous row, we have our first stitch. So to do a double crochet, we yarn over, we insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That counts as our first double crochet. All right, and now we're gonna do, it was 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, so this would be the third. Now we are going to chain 3. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. Gonna chain 3, grab some more yarn, and without skipping any stitches, we are going to do 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So this is where the last double crochet is, so right next to it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here's the first double crochet, second double crochet, and the third double crochet. We're going to chain 3 again and make 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And this is the pattern for row 2. So I'm going to leave you guys here and then meet up with you when we have completed this round. As we're reaching the end of this round, don't panic, because if you count, you'll only have 2 stitches to work a double crochet into. That's because the chain 3, well, the chain 6 at the beginning counts as our first double crochet and first chain 3 space, right? So I'm just going to, there we go, do my double crochet, my second double crochet, and then I'm going to join into 1, 2, 3, the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch, and bam. So in total, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 chain 3 spaces in total, okay? For round 3, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to make 2 double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 double crochets in the first chain 3 space. In order to start round 3, we're going to slip stitch into the first chain 3 space, and we're going to do a chain of 3. And into this same chain 3 space, we are going to do 2 double crochets, because that first chain counts as our double crochet. And then we will chain 3 and do 3 double, oh my god, sorry guys, 3 double crochets right here. Okay, so it kind of forms this little shell. Now we are going to chain 1, and with this chain 1, we will be skipping the 3 double crochets from the previous row. So we will work again into the chain 3 space, and we will do 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. And we're going to chain 1, skip the 3 double crochets, and work into the chain space. And we will do this all the way around, and we will end with a chain 1 space and then a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So this is my last shell stitch. So I did the 3 chains, and I'm going to do the last 3 double crochets. I really hope you guys can see what I'm doing here because I'm doing it kind of blind. Now we're going to do the chain 1, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. There we go. So that is what our third round is looking like, and you can already see it doesn't even fit into my camera space. It's a pretty big square, but we will now start our round 4, and before we start round 4 we need to slip stitch to this first chain 3 space. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right next there and do a slip stitch and then do another slip stitch, and the last slip stitch will be in the chain 3 space. To start round 4 we will do a chain of 3, counts as our first double crochet. Right next to that in the chain space we will do 2 more double crochets. So I'm calling this a shell again because we're going to do a chain 3, and we're going to work another set of double crochets right into this chain space. So as you can see, this shell is the same as the previous row, but now instead of separating our shells with a chain 1, we're going to be chaining 3. Okay, so this 4th round is pretty much 3 3 3, right? We're going to chain 1 2 and 3. We're going to skip 3 double crochets, this chain 1 space, 3 double crochets, and we're going to work into the next chain 3 space. And into this chain 3 space we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Right, now we're going to separate again by a chain of 3. We're going to skip 3 double crochets, a chain 1 space, and 3 double crochets, and we're going to work another shell into this chain 3. So as you can kind of see, the pattern is shells separated by chain 3, and the shells are worked into the chain 3 spaces from the row below. So that means we're skipping 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. And we are going to repeat this all the way around. Okay, and I will be back with you when we're doing our last shell. Alright, so now I am working my last shell. I've already done 1 double crochet, so I'm going to do 2 more into this chain 3 space. Do 3 chains, sorry, and then do 3 more double crochets into the chain space. Okay, that's the last shell, and we're going to end this round by doing 3 chains and slip stitching into the top of the chain 3. 1 2 3, and we're going to slip stitch into 1 2 and 3. And I like to catch 2 chains when I slip stitch. Just feel it makes it sturdier. right, so there we have our completed round 4. We should have 8 shells, 8 chain 3 spaces, okay? So to start round 5, we first need to slip stitch to get to that beginning chain 3 space. Okay, slip stitch into the space, and now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 chain, 3 double crochets into this first chain 3 space. Okay, so that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. Let me get more yarn. Sorry. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. Right. So this is our second shell variation. We're going to do now so this is our first shell variation, and now we have a chain 3 space. So into this chain 3 space, so this is our first shell variation, and now we have a chain 3 space. Okay, so here we have our second shell variation, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, all into our previous shell. Once we've done that, we're going to chain 2, and we are going to work 1 single crochet into this chain 3 space, and we're going to chain 2 again, and we've come upon our shell once more. So into this first shell variation, we're going to work a shell right into that chain 3 space. So that's 3 double crochets separated by chain 1 space, and then we're going to do 3 double crochet again. Once we have completed the shell, we're going to chain 2 again. We're going to work a single crochet into the next chain 3 space, and we're going to chain 2 again. Okay, so that is our repeat for round 5. A shell, which is now going to be 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 2, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, and do a shell on top of the shell. So we're going to keep working this all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're at that last shell. All right, so now we've done our last shell. We've worked a chain 2. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the last remaining chain 3 space, and we're going to do 2 chains, and we are going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and thus ends round 5. Round 5. All right. So now for round 6, what we're going to be doing is just like the previous rounds, we're going to slip stitch into the 2 following double crochets and into the chain space. We're going to chain 1. This is going to start our round. And in this chain space, we are going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, and then we're going to chain 5. And we have skipped 3 double crochets, a chain, and a chain 2 space. Okay, so into this single crochet, we're going to make a puff stitch with 5 loops. So this is 1, 2, 3. So if we count our loops, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to pull up. And there we go. We've completed our puff stitch, and now we're going to do 5 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5. And into this chain 1 space, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, so looking at our work, we started with a single crochet, we chained 5, and we skipped the 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Into this single crochet, we made a puff stitch, then we chained 5, and we did a single crochet as well. Okay, so that's how we're going to continue for the rest of the round. We made the single crochet, now we're going to do a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into this single crochet, we're going to do a puff stitch. Sorry about that, but as I'm filming this tutorial, I'm also making lunch. So that was the timer going off on my beans. I'm making rice and beans. All right, back to the tutorial. We have chained 5, and now into this single crochet, we're going to make a puff stitch. So we yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We've got 5, and we're going to yarn over once more, insert the hook into the stitch, and pull up a loop. So we've done that for a total of 3 times, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. Now we're going to do a chain of 5 again, and then we are going to skip until we reach that chain 1 space from the second shell. Okay, and then we're just going to continue in this manner, working a single crochet into each chain 1 space, chaining 5, and working a puff stitch into each single crochet. I'll meet you back here when we have reached the end of the round. All right, so we have reached the end of the round right now, so I'm going to chain 5. And I'm going to work a puff stitch into this last single crochet. So once again, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop. There should be a total of 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, yep, 7. Just making sure, because I think I said 5 at the beginning. But anyway, I'm going to do a chain of 5 again. And we are going to slip stitch into this single crochet. And let's try that again, shall we? Perfect. We slip stitched into the single crochet. So this is the end of round 6. Okay. And I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you can see the whole picture. All right. So now we will be moving on with row 7, and for row 7 we are going to chain 3, and we are going to do 8 double crochets into each of these chain 5 spaces. Okay, so if you want, you can start your chain 3 right from the single crochet. I'm actually going to slip stitch into my chain space, and I'm going to chain 3. And this chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So now we just have to do 7 more double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so just gonna double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I did 9. Whoops. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. So once you have, so in the first one, we have the chain 3 followed by 7 double crochets for a total of 8 double crochets into the chain 5 space. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. We're going to make 8 double crochets into each chain 5 space. Okay, so I'll do the next one with you guys as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, I will meet back with you when I have completed my 8 double crochets into each chain 5 space. All right, I have completed all the 8 double crochet groups around, and now we are going to do a slip stitch on top of that chain 3 space. And now round 7 is complete. Now round 8 is a little bit tricky, and this is where it can get a little bit complicated, because we are going to start going from a circle into a square. Okay, so the first step for round 8 is to chain 1, and we are going to do a single crochet right where we chained 1. After we complete that single crochet, we will chain 5. And then in the next, we're going to skip these 8 double crochets, and before the other 8 double crochet group, we are going to work 2 double crochets. So right between our 8 double crochet groups, we are going to work 2 double crochets. We are going to chain 5 again. And between the next double crochet group, we are going to do a single crochet. And we're going to chain 5 again. Now here is where we will make our corner. Right on top of this puff stitch between these 2 8 double crochet clusters, we are going to work 2 trebles, a chain 3, and 2 trebles. So first treble, second treble, chain 3, and then 2 trebles. And this marks our first corner because we started with a single crochet and we worked across till we made a corner. So just to review, we're going to do single crochets, chain 5, 2 double crochets, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, corner. And our corners are made by working 2 trebles, a chain 3, and 2 trebles into a space on top of a puff stitch. Okay, so I'm going to work up until the next corner with you because I know this can get a little confusing. So we're going to chain 5. Sorry, I ran out of yarn. Let's pull some more. Whoops. We're going to chain 5, and in between this next 8 double crochet group, we are going to work a single crochet. We're going to chain 5 again. And we are going to work 2 double crochets into the space between the next cluster. And then we're going to chain 5. And we're going to work a single crochet between the next cluster. Then we're going to chain 5. And on top of this next puff stitch, we are going to make a corner. And the corner is 2 trebles, 1, chain 3, and 2 trebles. Okay, so now we have worked our second corner. Just kind of scooch it over. So we have a corner here, and then we do chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, 2 double crochets, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, corner. So that is how we are going to keep working until we reached the beginning of our round. Okay, so I'm going to keep working around and I will meet you back when I've completed all rounds. For round 9, we are going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in the same space. And now we are going to work a single crochet in each of the next 15 chains and stitches. Right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. In the next 4 chains that we have left over, we are going to work a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are also going to work 1 double crochet on top of one of these double trebles. Sorry, treble crochets. Now we've reached this corner and we are going to work 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 double crochets into this corner. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So in every corner that we've come across on this row, we will work 3 double crochets and 3 chains. Okay, so we are just beginning to shape our square, and as we did in the beginning, we are going to work 1 double crochet into one of the trebles, and then we will work 1 double crochet into the next 4 chains, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the remaining chain, I'm going to work a single crochet, then a single crochet into this single crochet, and then we're going to start all over again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I just try to distribute my 15 single crochets evenly, okay? Now that we've finished the 15 single crochets, we're going to work 4 double crochets. Okay, and now we've come upon the last double crochet that we will be making, and it will be in the first treble from the previous row. Now we're going to skip the next treble and we're going to work 3 double crochets into that corner, chain 3, and 3 double crochets again. So we've completed that corner, and we follow by making a double crochet on top of one of the trebles from the previous row, and then we make 4 double crochets in the next 4 chains. Okay, and we're going to continue making 15 single crochets, 4 double crochets, 1 double crochet on top of a treble, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets into the corner until we come upon our first single crochet. All right, so we have finished this round 9, and we have finished it with 1 single crochet before the beginning single crochet. So to end round 9, we're just going to slip stitch into that single crochet. Okay, and then we will chain 3. This counts as our first double crochet, because what we will be doing now is we will be working 1 double crochet into each stitch until we reach a corner. Then when we reach a corner, we will work 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets into the corner. Okay, so I will do the first part of this round with you, and then I will leave you to it. So this is our first double crochet, 2. Now, this yarn, I really like working with it. It's, as I said in the beginning, it's Snuggle Puff by Knit Picks, and it's just so soft and squishy, and it really feels like a blanket, which incidentally is what I'm going to use this square for. I'm planning to make a whole bunch of squares, join them, and make a blanket. This, I believe this is simply a single ply yarn, so it makes it great for crochet because the stitches look really well defined. Sorry, I paused there because I thought I had skipped a stitch, but no, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. I bought a lot of this yarn actually. I think I bought 2 in each color because these squares are almost a foot in, 12 by 12. So I thought, oh, that could make a nice lap-sized blanket. But rather than waiting until I have a finished blanket to share this very nice square with you, I thought I would just share it while I'm actually working on the blanket. All right, so we have completed the first set of double crochets that we needed to do, and now we're at a corner. So we are going to chain, look at me. We're going to make 2 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets, and that completes the corner. So we will continue working this all the way around, working a double crochet into each stitch, and then 2 double crochets, 3 chains, 2 double crochets into each corner. All right, so we complete this final round, round 10, by doing a slip stitch on top of the chain 3. And then we are simply going to cut our yarn and weave in our ends. The square measures, as I said, 12 inches by 12 inches, maybe a little bit bigger after blocking. I haven't blocked mine yet. And you will have approximately 14 grams left over from your 50-gram ball. So you can play around, maybe if you're making a blanket and making multicolored square to go in the center, or make each round a different color with those last 15 grams. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know what you would like to make with this square. As I said, I will be making a blanket, and if you follow my blog, crochetcakes.com, I will be keeping you up to date when I actually complete this blanket. And I will, of course, share instructions on how I made it, how I joined, and whether or not I decide to make a border. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please comment down below what you would like to make with it. Bye!